Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today we're going to look at how to use AI to automatically research and generate viral video ideas, then generate those videos, and finally upload them to social media sites. So I remember hearing recently somebody giving some advice on AI, and they said that AI works best if you treat it like a colleague. Now, I actually completely disagree with this sentiment. I understand what he's trying to say, but I think that if you treat AI like it's a person, like it's a colleague, then you are setting yourself up for disappointment. It is much better to treat AI like it is. AI is a tool. Now, it's a tool that is unlike any tool that has ever existed, which means that we need to take a special effort to understand exactly what it's good at and exactly what it's bad at. For example, one thing that AI is really good at is doing research. Because you see, AI can very quickly perform web searches and then consume and condense the information on the websites from those searches. Okay, so in my research agent, I'm just going to paste in this prompt. All right, and I want you to notice the specificity of this prompt. I could have easily just said, do some research on viral video ideas. But instead, I'm telling it which tool I want it to use, the deep research tool, and specifically study what videos are going viral that were created in VO3. I'm telling it VO3 because there have specifically been videos going viral recently in the past week or so that use VO3. All right, not just that, I'm telling it to focus narrowly on how a creator can use VO3 to create viral videos. All right, now finally, I'm telling it how I want it to write its response. I'm telling it to give an explanation of what VO3 is, why it's special, and why it can be used to go viral. I'm telling it to explain various topics and techniques people are using with VO3 to make it go viral. Again, it might have done all of this stuff anyway, but by asking it specifically that this is what I want, I can know for sure that that's what's going to be in the response. And that ends up being important because this report isn't really for me. I'm actually having it create this report so that the agent itself can read it and then help me come up with viral video ideas. All right, so the agent is doing its thing. It's going to take a few minutes to do that. So we're going to fast forward and come back when it's done.
What VEO3 actually is. Product. VEO is Google DeepMind's text-to-video novelty effect. Unveiled most users still haven't seen truly high-resolution, smooth AI video. Watch the rate spike because FPV drone diving through a giant neon koi fish, swing into macro slow-mo.
All right, so you can see this is a very valuable report. Just this report alone is worth all of the money that you're paying for Aidolons for sure. But again, this report isn't really for us. So the next thing I'm going to do is paste another prompt. All right, and I'm saying, based on this report, give me 20 ideas for videos that can be made in VO3 that will go viral. Another trick for successful prompting is trial and error and iteration. Because the first few times I tried running this prompt, it was giving me ideas like, at the 45-second marker, do this, and at the 3-minute marker, do this. All right, VO3 can create videos that are 8 seconds long. So those prompt ideas just weren't even valid. Okay, it was also giving me ideas like in a crowded city square, a cat wearing a spacesuit does a backflip. And it's like, okay, that would be cool, I suppose, but we're not trying to set up our AI video generators to fail. We want to keep things as simple as possible so they can succeed. All right, let's run the prompt. And again, we'll wait for it to generate the response.
20 ultra simple, 8-second video ideas built to pop. 1. Looping coffee gallon.
All right, now before I go through and read all of these, I want to show you something that AI is bad at. Okay, AI is good at doing the research, it's good at coming up with a bunch of different ideas, but then if I ask it to choose the best idea that's the most likely to go viral, even with a well thought out prompt that I iterated on multiple times, I'm willing to bet that it will not give me a good answer.
A single popcorn kernel on an invisible surface, macro lens, warm rim light. The kernel blossoms into fluffy popcorn in ultra-slow motion, then implodes back into the original kernel.
Okay, so I admit that's kind of a cool idea, but I'm highly skeptical that any AI video generator is going to be successful with this prompt. But just out of curiosity, let's tuck it away for later. Okay, so now let's go back through these and see what kind of ideas they gave us. Okay, we've got some coffee galaxy. That's kind of a cool idea. But again, I'm skeptical that it'll get a good render. Street puddle reflects clouds, ripples reveal a glowing underwater city. Camera tilts down into it, resets to still puddle. Wow, it was not trying to give me simple ideas this round, but it definitely likes these loops. Okay, so after spending some time reading through these, my feeling is that none of them are actually that good. And this is why I like working with the agent directly, because now we can go back and give it some more guidance. And here's what we're going to tell it. All of your ideas were too visually and conceptually complicated. Look again at your research results and do more research if necessary, and give me 20 new ideas that are more in line with what people are actually making and things video generators will actually be successful at. Alright, so we'll let it churn and we'll see if it does a little bit better this time. Okay, so an interesting thing is happening here. These are all very thing-oriented, and I feel like we'll have more success if they are people-oriented. So I'm going to tell it exactly that. And again, we'll wait for our response. Okay, so a lot of these feel very generic, but this is why I have it do 20 at a time, because out of all of these that have been generated, there's a couple that I think are good. Alright, so I'm going to tell it the video prompts for the following ideas. Then I'm going to copy and paste this one, and I'm going to copy and paste this one. And we'll send it off. Okay, good enough, let's move on. And by the way, just to show you what I'm copying these to, I have a notepad that I'm just copying the ideas that I like exactly as they are. And we'll bring that back later. Cool, so now we're going to jump over to flows, and we're going to click Create Flow. Okay, welcome to Instagram. Definitely not Instagram, because showing you guys how to automate Instagram would violate their TOS. So instead, we're just going to automate my TOS-friendly Instagram clone site. By the way, you can see that previous sessions have had varying amounts of success. This one was a favorite of mine. Alright, so here's what I'll do. We'll go to Image Generation, and I'm going to drag over Create AI Video. Let's give ourselves some more room. Okay, there are some different models to work with, including VO3. And like I said, all of my prompts used VO3 just because there's been some good recent examples of VO3 videos going viral. But literally yesterday, I think, a newer, even better model has come onto the scene, and I wasted no time including it in Aidolons. This model gets a better result, and it costs literally 20 times less. Alright, now I could literally just paste the prompt into my prompt box here, but I want to set up my workflows to be reusable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a text parameter, and we're going to call this prompt. And now we'll edit or create AI video. We'll open up our parameters expander, and we'll drag prompt into the box. We'll say okay, and then I'm going to take one of my prompts and I'm just going to paste it into the prompt parameter there. Okay, now I'm going to click run, and I'm going to switch over to the console, and we'll unclick the web browser. And this is going to take a few minutes, so we're going to fast forward. Here we go. All right, let's take a look to see how it did. Okay, that is absolutely not what the prompt said, but whatever, it did the best it could. This is a demo. And by the way, you'll notice that parameters in regular commands, you cannot edit these unless you are in edit mode. Okay, however, the parameters, you can edit them whenever. All right, so let's move on to the web browser portion. We'll have it start by navigating to our website. For the URL, we will use our Instagram website URL. All right, next we're going to click this plus button on the toolbar. So I'm going to drag over click, and I'm going to tell it the plus button in the middle of the bottom toolbar. All right, let's run it up to there and see what we get. So now it's navigating to the page, and now it's going to click the button. So far, so good. Next, we're going to click and we'll say the video button and click OK. We'll give it another run. All right, now it skips all of the green ones. So it goes straight to where we are. Okay, good. We're almost done. Next, I'm going to use select file. All right, now the way a page like this works, because there's no literal upload field, at least not one that we can see, the AI can get a little confused on stuff like this. So to deal with that, I'm actually going to paste in a selector. All right, and this is an XPath. So by using an XPath selector, we actually bypass the AI, and it's going to specifically look for a file input. All right, now for file, I'm going to go to video generation, and I'm going to say last video. All right, and this will automatically pull the last video that was generated. We'll click OK. We'll give it a run to make sure it works. Video files are big. It might take a minute. All right, and it's successfully uploaded. So the last thing we need to do is simply click the publish button. Give it one last run, and there we go. Our brand new, somewhat unimpressive video has been uploaded. All right, so now that we've seen that it works, why don't we try one of our other viral video prompts and see if we get a good result. So we'll just put it into the parameter up here, and we'll hit run. Okay, our new video has uploaded, and let's take a look, and it is pretty much exactly what the prompt specified. Okay, so the very last thing that I want to do is I just want to give this a title, something that will make it easy for me to identify in the future. We'll call it generate and upload videos. All right, guys, and that's it for today. I hope you found this helpful. Consider subscribing, and I will see you next time.